I don't know where you've been, but you're going to respect this courtroom. My life has proven that it's not about where you come from, it's about where you're going. From a jailed youth who had my record expunged to becoming the youngest judge elected.
The Honorable Judge Greg Mathis presiding.
In just 15 years. Ma'am, let me know when you want to go to rehab. Otherwise, I think you're a crackhead.
Absolutely not.
My goal is to inspire others to overcome their obstacles. You don't need him and his little raggedy roommate.
Thank you.
All while having a little fun on Mathis Court. You look like you're ready to lie right the first word out your mouth. This is Mathis Court with Judge Mathis.
Sandra Lee is suing Maxwell Chase in the amount of $1,500. Miss Lee claims her employer said her clothing was too provocative to wear while working at his Christian bookstore, but says he fired her for what she wore at home.
All rise. Court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Greg Mathis presiding. You may be seated. Judge, both litigants have been sworn in.
Thank you, sir. State your name, ma'am.
Hi, Judge. My name is Sandra Lee.
Sir.
Maxwell Chase.
All right, and ma'am, you're suing the defendant, your former employer, for unlawful termination for $1,500?
That's correct.
All right, start with you. Give me some background on this.
So I moved to Fresno late 2020 from Miami. Was having a hard time. Ran into a man who I thought was kind. Gave me a job at his bookstore as a barista, sales clerk. I did great. We had a couple run-ins where he was...
Who told you you did great?
He did, sir,
Okay.
and the customer base loved me.
All right.
We had a couple run-ins where he asked me to change what I wore to work. He felt that it was inappropriate.
What were
listened.
you wearing?
Jeans, you know, tops, things that I felt were fine to wear to a bookstore.
He had a problem with jeans, you think?
Clearly he did.
You had a problem with
I
jeans?
did not have a problem with jeans, Your Honor. I had a problem with the type of jeans she was wearing. Incredibly too tight for a Christian bookstore.
This is a Christian bookstore.
100% a Christian bookstore, Your Honor.
So you wanted her to dress like it?
Appropriately
That
for
would,
the job.
would not offend your Christian customers.
Correct.
Because I suppose you think that Christians are offended by racy clothing.
Absolutely.
That's your assumption.
Absolutely.
I'm a Christian.
Yes?
You a Christian? Are you offended by women when they dress provocatively?
I am not.
Or do you just do what the Bible say? When not, if I offend thee, you pluck it out. Now you want to go Bible to Bible?
You do
I
what?
know my
You do
Bible
what?
too
You
now.
do what?
You pluck it out. If thine eye offends thee, pluck it out. So if what you're looking at, a racy or whatever, however you a provocative outfit on a woman, you pluck your eye out. If you take the Bible literally, which I don't, but that's what it says. And I think figuratively it means speaking in allegory. That's what they say. Most of the Bible is full of allegory. Allegory meaning stories that reflect the essence of the message. And so they don't mean literally pluck your eye out, but it does mean stop looking. That's the essence of it. And so that's what I'm about to get. We'll talk about that. But yeah, I don't believe she was that racy. This is a nice mother of the church. She appears to be dressed fully now. Your mother? No, the mothers have to be older. I think mothers are seniors. I do go to church enough to know that. They wear the all white. Do you wear the white when you go?
Not to work.
Okay,
no.
well, no, you're not. No, I'm talking about the church. Because
I do not
otherwise you're
I do
not a church
attend
lady.
church.
You're a, what's the younger ladies there? Oh, a missionary. You can be young, a missionary as a missionary. You missionary?
I am not.
You're not? Just a church
missionary.
lady. Okay, church. We'll just go with church lady.
I think I heard
All
she doesn't go to church.
I do not attend church. No.
Would you mind your business?
said it.
How was you going to expose this woman's business?
She said it.
She might want everybody, I think she wants everybody to think she's a church lady. I'm going with church lady.
She said, I don't go to church.
I'm going with church lady. She look like a church lady to me. She act like a church lady to me. She's a church lady. Go ahead. And you can't offend anybody calling them something involving the Lord or God. You can't be offended. If you say you look like Mary, Mother Mary, you wouldn't be offended, would you?
No, sir.
Mother Mary had Jesus.
Sure did.
There you go. You might not want to be called Jezebel in the Bible, but Jesus, Mary is all right. Go ahead, sir. Tell me what complaints you had about her dressing. Or is it just you that needed to poke your eye out like the Bible says, if thy eye offend thee?
Okay. The reason we decided to terminate her, or that I decided to terminate her, sir, is that she was driving away my customers. I had several complaints about her, about the way she was. I had several complaints about the way she had dressed. Not necessarily, even in the store.
Some of the more jealous women.
Not actually jealous women. Several families who said they would not buy from my store. It was crippling my business. So I had
Please,
to make...
them little boys go home and think about and fantasize about her. Who you kidding? Talking about the families come in. And them little 12-year-old boys come in there to see her dressed like that. They going home happy as a lark.
Coming up on Mathis Court with Judge Mathis.
I had Mr. and Mrs. Smith come to me say, I will not buy from this bookstore again. You do not hold Christian
You
values.
can tell them they got a lot of nerve. They're involved in entanglements.
If you'll be in the Los Angeles area and want to bring your case to court, call 1-888-552-6878.
You're watching Mathis Court with Judge Mathis. This is Mathis Court with Judge Mathis.
Mathis Court is back with the case of Sandra Lee, who is suing Maxwell Chase for wrongful termination.
Only one mad is the mother.
I had Mr. and Mrs. Smith come to me say, I will not buy from this bookstore again. You do not hold Christian
You
values.
can tell them they got a lot of nerve. They're involved in entanglements.
Let's talk about how Mr. Smith bought my signature
that,
drink
didn't you?
every day.
Bought your signature drink every
My
day.
signature coffee drink every day, $3.50 a cup. That was okay.
It was once a day.
That's besides the point. Your Honor, he fired me for something I did in the privacy of my home.
Oh, it was in privacy of her home.
Yes, there's a pool in my condo complex, and a couple times, I put on my swimsuit, go to the pool, come back home, stand on my balcony, it's got a nice shade to cool off, okay? And a couple of times this happened, and he fired me for that. He fired me because people who went to his bookstore who knew I worked there were upset
Because
that
you
I
weren't
was
naked. Church lady wasn't up there naked.
No, sir, I was not naked.
No,
I was wearing a swimsuit.
Is this what we're talking about? What she wears at her on the confines of her own property?
Well, she's in the view of my bookstore, sir.
I can't.
So you're saying when people come up,
Yes?
they can see her
Yes, they can see her condo
in
straight across.
provocative wear? What type of provocative? How provocative is it?
Swimsuit,
Do you
sir.
wear thorns?
Swimsuit. I have a
You get on
thong
that balcony with
bikini.
thorns, church lady,
She does.
It's a swimsuit.
and then
Bought at
gonna
a
act
swimsuit
like you
store.
got something to pick up on the ground. Oh, let me get my pop. Bending over with that thong, and your customers got to see that mess.
Absolutely.
And those men are so mad and angry when they see it, aren't they?
They absolutely
So
are.
are the little adolescent boys.
Absolutely, sir.
I know absolutely that's what's happening. They're going on fantasizing about her.
Absolutely. Why do you think they were buying drinks from you?
Mr. Chase, it is 2023. This is giving body shaming. It's giving toxic masculinity.
I didn't say
It's
anything
giving
about your
misogyny.
body.
Okay, it's not up to me to control other people's perception of me. I
it's-
did my job at your store. I covered for you when you had to go take care of your family stuff.
After I had to fight you on it.
You fought me,
multiple
but I
times.
stayed. I covered for you because I thought this guy's looking out for me, so I'm gonna look out for him. And then you're gonna fire me 5 hours into my Monday shift and not gonna let me work the next 2 weeks. What am I supposed to do? I'm new to town. I'm a single woman. I'm trying to get by. I thought you had my back.
In any event, sir, did you speak with her about it? Did you give her a warning?
I did. I gave her a warning when she started showing up a couple months into the job in skimpy clothing. I explained to her
And
that's
I
not
changed
acceptable.
my clothing.
Excuse me. I explained to her
Yes,
that is
excuse
not
you.
acceptable in
All right,
the
that's
bookstore.
on the job.
Absolutely, but there is a clause in our contract here that she signed, and it clearly states, Your Honor.
Let's see it, please, Amir.
Give me the whole packet.
They're saying what?
It clearly states that I expect her to comport herself correctly, dress appropriately on and off the premises. Her patio
no.
is
So what you
direct-
want her to wear when she go to the
It's
club? What you want her to wear when she go to the club? Outfit, the most conservative of Christian outfits, or what is the group in Pennsylvania? not Mormons, the
Amish.
Amish. You wanted to go Amish to the bar?
Absolutely not, Your Honor.
Well,
but
then.
Well, it sounds
if she's
like
in
it.
the view, when you're in the view of my bookstore, you can't be parading yourself around.
I didn't build that condo in front of your bookstore.
You know what? You moved into
Okay.
it, okay?
I did,
and we
and
have
you
a
knew I
very
lived
close-knit
there.
community.
Represent our establishment in a professional manner, in and out of the workplace. Now, why do you feel her attire in a swimsuit is unprofessional? If she was a professional swimmer, she might be trying out to be a professional swimmer, so that is professional.
It's not so much that she's unprofessional, it's the fact that I'm getting complaints and losing business over the fact that you're dressing
Sir,
inappropriately.
I'll tell you what to do. Get you a sign. So when they walk up, they'll see a sign. Put that sign, say, "Don't look up." How about that? Wasn't that the movie too?
Yep.
Yeah.
Great movie.
After the movie, you might not be able to use those words. Yes, you can.
Yes, you can.
Yeah, but don't look up, all right? Then you won't have that problem anymore. But
Yes,
you
sir.
got a bunch of freaks coming in there. You know they looking up there, oohing and on. How many complaints you get?
Multiple, at least 5,
You
in
know-
within 2 times she did it.
This happened twice, okay? And after the second time he told me about these complaints, never happened again, but he still chose to fire me, to put me on the schedule first for 2 weeks, okay? So I'm keeping my word, I'm setting my time aside to show up to work for 2 weeks. And he chooses to fire me on a Monday after lunch, handing me a $100 check, here's your pay for the day, don't come back.
That's what you get. You get 5 hours worth of pay. You don't get 2
if
weeks
I
worth
had
when you're not.
quit, you would have
should-
wanted a 2-week notice,
Don't
would
you
you have
want
not?
all the Christians to come into your store to be faithful to their religion?
Absolutely, Your Honor.
All right. And sometimes, as part of your faith, you get tested by the devil. And that's a very, quite frankly, it should be a very desirable test for an avid Christian who wants to test their faith. Mother Teresa said sometimes she questioned her faith and whether there was a God.
Coming up,
They're being tested. Let her be the test of your customer's religion. Test their faith. You're watching Mathis Court with Judge Mathis. This is Mathis Court with Judge Mathis.
Mathis Court is back with the case of Sandra Lee, who is suing Maxwell Chase for wrongful termination.
So sometimes Christians do that. But the best way is when the devil tests you and you can survive that test. That's when you know you have a real relationship with God. I love the law. I'm preaching now, I'm sorry. I was just giving you the scripture. No, but my point is, they're being tested. Let her be the test of your customer's religion. Test their faith, since you want all of them to be strong in their faith. You should have her dressed as skimpy and as provocative as she can in the back, and then every little Christian that come in there one at a time. I want to tell you something. I want to test your faith. Going back in there. No, sir. The issue we have here is whether this contract is constitutional. Because you are dictating what she could wear in the workplace and outside of the workplace. In the workplace, perhaps. But just because you got a bunch of people that walk around looking in the sky instead of in front of them, you can't hold her accountable to that. What's she supposed to say? I got to move. In order for her to be able to lay out on a balcony, she has to move. Or she has to sit in the balcony with army fatigues on and 90 degrees just so that your customers are not seeing her.
Coming up,
I mean, how far do you want to take that, representing my establishment in a professional manner outside of the workplace? You're watching Mathis Court with Judge Mathis. This is Mathis Court with Judge Mathis.
Mathis Court is back with the case of Sandra Lee, who is suing Maxwell Chase for wrongful termination.
Well, and there's something in the law, and I'm being funny, but that might be the answer. There's something in the law that requires constitutional issues to be what they call narrowly tailored. You can't say, I don't want you talking about men because it might upset the women. Well, that's unconstitutional to say it in such a broad manner. Now, if you say, I don't want you talking to each other about sex because the women will hear you and it will offend them, that's narrowly tailored. That's very specific. But you can't say, you can't be up there dressed provocative, and I'll determine whether it's provocative, and my customers will determine whether it's provocative. You should have went to her and asked, are you, this is what I think is going on. It's affecting my business. I'd like for us to amend this contract to make it very specific about what you can do in agreeing to the contract that requires you represent my establishment in a professional manner in and outside of the workplace. So outside of the workplace, you might say to her, very specific things though. Don't wear things that expose your too much. Don't wear thongs and don't bend over when you wear the thongs. I don't know. I mean, how far you want to take that, representing my establishment in a professional manner outside of the workplace? You probably don't want them wearing tattoos all around. Well, you can't say, well, don't show your tattoos outside the workplace. You might say it if I thought about it enough, maybe not. But if you see an employee come on with a bunch of tattoos that you think would make your customers have certain thoughts that you don't want them to have preconceived notions about, then on that contract, you'll say, okay, I see you got tattoos. Are you willing not to show your tattoos by wearing covered up clothing or whatever? Okay, sign there. Then you got a contract with him agreeing to do it.
How will Judge Mathis rule? Find out when Mathis Court returns.
You're watching Mathis Court with Judge Mathis. This is Mathis Court with Judge Mathis. $1,500 is your judgment, sir. That rule was too broad to fit within the constitutional clause of freedom of expression. And so you have to narrow it down and discuss with that employee before you meet with them and they sign the contract. You got to be a little more specific. So in the future, do that. I'm telling you, it's an easy way, is to tell the people to not look up and to put a big sign in the parking lot. When you're coming in here, you not look up because there is provocative things you might not want to see. You know what's going to happen? They're going to all stop bumping into each other because every single one of them going to be looking for that provocative thing on the balcony. Judgment for the plaintiff. Have a good day.
All rise.
Judge Mathis has ruled in favor of the plaintiff. The defendant has been ordered to pay $1,500.
And I just hope you learned that dressing provocatively, you're a beautiful woman. You don't need to dress that way all the time.
Mr. Chase, just provide a uniform, okay, and stay out of my business.
This has been a production of Allen Media Group.